Let me get a little psych here. Let me get a little psyched. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah.
No, bitch ass bitch. Hey, we doing that intro song today?
Welcome, everybody. You're listening to A Podcast Has No Name, the show that takes on the latest social issues, trends, and entertainment. I'm Edward Leon Jasper.
And I'm Matt Elam, that smooth mother lover that will sing the blues so you can groove, all the while delivering you news. And we are boldly going where no gay and straight have gone before.
Wow.
Huh?
That was epic.
Oh, sweet.
Dog, how's your week been? Let me just go ahead and say a happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Father's Day was, let me say, this has been the best Father's Day. It was the best Father's Day I've ever had. Shout out to my wife, Rebecca, again. She put it down. Woke up in the morning with some cinnamon apple pancakes and a fresh mug of coffee. It was incredible. And that's my favorite word of the week, by the way. I said that like 6 times today.
Incredible.
I wanted to punch myself in the face. I just couldn't stop saying incredible. Like everything was incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, so you'll probably hear that at least 7 more times tonight.
Hey, man, that's okay. That's incredible.
The coffee was, I mean, after I saw that she made breakfast, my Father's Day at that point was made, but it just kept going. It kept getting better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, shout out to her on that.
That's amazing.
Because the simple things is what makes me happy. And, the breakfast and the coffee, that did it for me.
Well, good for you.
Yes. Thank you. How was yours? You got a dog or something or a pet?
I have no dogs. I have no pets, but I do have a husband.
Oh, okay. Happy Father's Day, bro.
So thank you so much. I mean, it feels like taking care of a child sometimes. I'll be honest. I love him ever so, but let's be real. Other than that, my week was great.
Yeah. Oh, how was your weekend?
Oh, thanks. My week was fine. I'll be honest. In the best way possible. This podcast feels like work.
Yeah.
Which again, best way possible. It feels so great to be recording this, but I like the fact that we have a schedule of when we record. I like how after every time we record, we talk about it, we assess, we get the feedback from the listeners. So again, thank you guys so much when you guys leave the comments, when you guys talk to us in person.
It's helps, appreciated.
It's so appreciated. It helps so much more than you think. And, keep the support going. But
keep it up.
I've had to keep myself motivated a lot more this week. Just like, I'm trying to do different things, but also I have a 9 to 5. I still work my 40 hours a week, but while still trying to juggle things on the side. So I'm starting to like really value time management skills that I don't have yet. But I think I'm going to get them.
You will.
I'm going to be forced to get them, to be honest.
Precisely, because you're going to learn either the hard way or you're going to read it somewhere.
Right. So hopefully, Lord, send the article.
Send it, Jesus.
Send me that article, Lord Jesus Christ. Because your boy need to learn. And that's all I got. That's all I fucking got. God, please help me.
Amen.
I'm so tired. Hot topics.
Hot topics.
Love it.
Oh, that's like Hot Pockets, but Hot Topics.
Don't say that too loud because, I tell you what, you never know who's listening.
Ooh.
Could be a lawyer.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
A copyright lawyer. And you didn't say Hot Pockets. You said Hot Markets.
I said Hot Markets.
Hot Markets.
But we talking about them Hot Topics.
Nice echo.
Thanks, bro. Just got this new mic.
So what you got for me?
Well, when I say hot topic, I got a hot one as in like just happened today hot topic. Check me out real quick.
Okay.
So, I consider myself a listener of the show because I listen to it. Mm-hmm. And I got a question. Mm-hmm. When your significant other has an issue, but they don't want it fixed. Now, let me tell you a little bit about who I am as the man of my household.
Okay, talk to me.
When something breaks, I fix it.
Right.
When the AC break, I fix it. You know, when the kid's shoelaces are tied in knots, you know, I untie the knots. I fix it. That's what I feel like my role is in my family. You know, I fix broken things. So my question is when your significant other comes to you with an issue, yet they don't want you to fix it, they just want to be heard. And that is something that I've been struggling with for at least 7 or 8 years, because my natural instinct is to give the person I love advice. For instance, I feel like I'm a 911 dispatcher. This is what I feel like. My significant other comes to me and says, "Baby, I don't know what's going on. I'm so tired and I just don't know where the tiredness is coming from."
Okay, pause real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the baby. Well, not the baby, but I'm gonna be your baby, and I'm gonna call 911. You're the dispatcher.
Oh, I like that. Let's do it.
Beep beep bop 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 bop.
Hello, 911. This is dispatch. How may I help you?
Hi, baby. I'm so tired, and I don't know why I'm so tired.
Okay. Let me see. Have you been sleeping okay every night?
Yeah, I've been sleeping fine.
Have you tried exercising?
Yeah, baby. You know, I always exercise every single day. I always do my sit-ups every morning.
Okay. Are you eating regularly?
Oh my God. Yes, you know that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm running out of options. I don't know what else I can offer you. But I feel like you're getting kind of upset that I'm suggesting things to help.
Listen, why can't you just listen to me? I'm telling you how I feel, and like you just like always trying to fix. Can't you just help? Okay, so goodbye. Click.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. And I'm like, okay, but you called 911 with an issue, but you just want me to say, damn. Which I can do that.
Right.
If that's what you want, I can do that. But if I do that, you're going to get pissed about that too. Because you're going to be like, you're not listening to me. You're just saying shit. And I'm going to be like, oh, yes, I am just saying shit. Because when I talk, you don't like what I say. And I just don't know what to do, bro.
Well, you know what? It's a battle that you will always lose. And I think that you should realize that because I feel like the same way, and it's not just in a relationship, but just in work a lot of times. A lot of times people just want their voice to be heard.
That's true.
And it's not for you it's not your place to interject. It's like, I'm not saying it so that you can tell me what to do, because I'm going to figure it out, but I'm letting you know that there's a problem that I have, and like, I'm going to be working through this space. So just prepare yourself.
I can see that.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair. And I think I can do a better job of listening, of actively listening.
Listening.
Instead of trying to think of a solution, just hear her.
Right.
Hear her out and just listen. So I'll work on that.
Well, I think it's like 2 things. I can think of 2 examples. It's kind of like that one commercial where the wife comes to the husband and she's like, should I get the red shoes or the black shoes? And he says the black shoes. And she's like, well, I like the red ones.
Oh,
right.
Hey, man.
It's kind of like that.
Man, why did you ask him in the first place? Why did you make your husband waste his breath?
Because I'm giving you the illusion of choice. That's what it is.
Okay.
I'm letting you feel included, although I know what's best.
But it's like, I didn't ask for the illusion because I don't care what you wear. Just get fucking dressed.
Well, so but I want you to care about what I wear because I want you to love me. You don't love me? Is that what you're saying?
So, okay. So we just got to play the game.
You got to play the game.
Just got to play the game.
And you need to play it with passion and enthusiasm.
The Game of Thrones.
I think we should just go right into that. What did you think of last week's episode? Because, precursor, this is episode 9, so this is typically the most intense episode of the season. So, what did you think?
You called it. I have been, like Pavlov's dogs. You've been talking about episode 9. I was like, oh shoot, this week is episode 9. Mm-hmm. So I was so excited to see the things that I saw. I felt like, and this is a spoiler alert, if you haven't seen episode 9,
spoiler.
Go ahead and turn on your speakers. I didn't feel like Ramsay got enough.
He didn't get enough.
Now when Jon Snow was beating that ass, oh my God, I have never erupted. I erupted in vocal tones with each hit that came to his face. I was I felt like I was beating that ass.
Yeah.
It felt so good to watch him get pummeled in the face. But I feel like they didn't do his death justice with the dogs. That was it was too easy. They needed to torture his ass for like 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
And then I would have been like, you guys, it's too much now. You need to just kill them all.
Yeah. Going along those lines, and now that you said torture him for 3 seasons, it just brought back a memory. Let's talk about when we first met Ramsay.
Ooh,
okay?
Yeah.
When we first met Ramsay, he had just captured Theon, right?
Right.
He set Theon free. He made Theon believe that they were going to be friends and like he was doing him a big favor. But then he sets Theon free on a horse, and then he gets his bow and arrow, and he shoots down his horse, and he captures Theon again just to torture him.
Yeah.
So he has a history of like making you believe that he's this good person, and then turning around and being the worst person imaginable.
Yeah, he's sick with it.
And he's done this since what? Maybe season 2, maybe 3?
I think it was 2 or 3 when we first met Ramsay, and it's season 6 now?
Yeah. So he's been doing this for a long ass time. And, I was talking to this with Frankie and my sister when they finally saw the episode. And I just felt like for Ramsay's death to only be 1 scene, it doesn't do it justice.
No.
At all.
No.
So, that's what I had. But what else do you have?
Well, what else happened? Jon Snow, he had that huge battle scene, which the battle scene was pretty awesome. I felt like it was a very realistic battle scene. He was out there being brave, and then he was like, oh shit, like it's like 70 horses coming at me. What am I going to do? And luckily, he had the wildlings had his back because they respect him. And what else happened in that episode? Was Arya in that episode?
Arya was not in the episode, but we did get some intense dragon action.
Yes. The dragon stuff. Daenerys came back, gangster mode. She was ruling everything. That storyline is really incredible. I didn't like it at one point, but it's turned out to be an incredible. She's one of my favorite characters now.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Oh, and Greyjoy and Daenerys, they got a little, they was flirting in that grand room right there. I think Greyjoy might get some of that dragon action.
She might. Really taste the dragon. You know what I'm saying? saying. Crouching tiger, hidden pussy.
Tell them like it is.
I had to.
You got to keep it real.
You know what? This podcast has no name. We're not here to. I don't know. No, yeah. So in the books, Daenerys sleeps with her handmaiden.
Oh. So
she's got a little lesbo action going on.
That's always good.
Yeah. So. I don't know why HBO of all networks wouldn't choose to include that, but whatever.
I thought they did in the early seasons.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
They touched on it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that. I was like, ooh, okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, and there was episode 10. What I want to see is what you touched on last week, which was Cersei's and whatever that guy's name is, secret. That
Mhm.
she's like, oh, okay, what's going on? I want to see what's happening with that.
Mhm.
I want to see my girl Arya. She is one of my favorite characters, but I don't know how her storyline is going to be now that she's no longer with the no name people.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, what is she going to do? Like, she's still really small. She's got the needle sword, but I mean, that's not going to beat anybody on a battlefield. So but she's one of my favorite characters. I want to see where she's going to go. So Cersei, Arya, and Clegane,
Mhm.
Gregor.
Uh-huh.
I want to see what's going to happen with them.
One of the reasons why this episode of Game of Thrones was a little disappointing to me is because through blogs, through podcasts, I know that there's a lot of hype about what should be happening at the end of the season. And a lot of that didn't get covered this episode. And so it kind of is like, people are like, okay, are they going to try to cram all this into one episode, the last episode? Or are they going to like do a massive cliffhanger and leave us for the whole off season?
You know, I almost think like HBO owes it to the fans. Give us a 2-hour episode.
I think so too.
Is that too much to ask?
I think it is supposed to be, it's going to be longer than an hour. But it won't be. I think it'll cut short of an hour and a half.
Okay.
So we'll get a little bit, but I don't know, man. I just feel like this whole season's been a little dry. And so this last episode needs to be really intense. And the things that I'm thinking should happen, if they do happen, then yes, we will all be able to, go to sleep Sunday night feeling very rest assured. But if not, then I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to have a real serious problem because, like I said before in an earlier episode, this is the first season where they're off books. And this off book season for me so far has been lackluster. I feel like the whole battle of the bastards. I feel like that whole battle was just so dramatic for no reason because we have people dying when Sansa knew that the Knights of the Vale were going to come at the end and save everybody, but she still let everyone go out there and fucking die. She let her brother almost die. For what reason? When she knew that an army was going to come, when all they had to do was wait, 5 hours?
Did she know they were coming?
She knew that they were coming. She wrote to Littlefinger a couple episodes back. So I'm sure she knew.
But she can't know that he's going to accept. I mean, last time we saw Littlefinger, she told him that she never wanted to see him again. So,
but I think that she knew. I think she knew. I mean,
she could have at least told John that she had written.
That's what I mean. She withheld information, which, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. If they were like enemies, if Sansa and John were enemies or they didn't like each other, then whatever. But they're fighting for the same thing. They're both fighting for Winterfell. They're both fighting for their brother. And I just feel like what a shitty thing to do on Sansa's part. I mean, in my opinion, she's going back to the season 1 Sansa where she's just being like a really shitty person.
Yeah, you remember that? Like, I was just thinking, somebody asked me today, would I pick Queen Marjorie or Sansa? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to go with Marjorie.
Hell yeah.
Because you got to think about Sansa from when she started season 1 to where she is now. And I almost feel like she's the person she is only because of bad situations.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Marjorie, she's been playing the game since we met her.
Boy, Marjorie been playing that thing. Boy, I respect Marjorie. Big up to Marjorie.
Yeah, she's doing her thing, and I'm really excited to see what happens in this last episode. It should be really intense, man. I really want to tell you some stuff, but
what?
I can't. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind. I mean,
I can't tell you.
Okay. Hey, we'll save it for next podcast.
We'll save it for the next podcast, or maybe I'll tell you once we're not recording. But if by next podcast what I think should happen doesn't happen, then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. That's
All
fair.
right. I want to talk about the Senate blocking pretty much all gun control laws.
Yeah, that's big. That's big right now.
Man, it is. I guess it's not enough that 49 people just got massacred.
Nope.
Like what? Not even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, apparently the time for publicity was expired 48 hours after those people died.
Yeah.
And then now you go back to your regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, it's fine. And it's not just the politicians, it's everybody else too.
Hey.
I mean, we're on to the next topic. You watch the news, and we're still talking about Kanye and fucking Taylor Swift, which we will talk about them later on. But
shit, I ain't heard about that one yet, but okay.
Oh man,
continue.
I got some good stuff there.
Oh,
But it's just astounding. So basically, let's rewind back to Monday. So basically on Monday, the Senate blocked the gun control laws from proceeding. Essentially what happened is that on both sides of the spectrum, both Democrats and Republican, they brought up 4 different measures that they wanted to bring up for gun control reform, or just like try to make things a little harder for people to buy guns.
okay.
So there are 4 measures. 2 of them had to deal with terrorist watch list. So the Democrats wanted to block all people from the terrorist watch list from buying guns. And the Republicans wanted to say, well, instead of blocking everyone, let's just have a 3-day wait.
3 days?
Well, I mean, I will say that a 3-day wait is better, because the idea is that if someone on the terrorist watch list applies for a gun, they wait 3 days, and in that 3-day span, then the judges or the court is supposed to look into their file and say, can you buy a gun? Yes or no.
Okay.
So that could be okay, rather than the Democrats saying, if you're on the terrorist watch list, you cannot buy a gun, no questions asked.
Okay.
So, there's some give and take there.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 have to deal with background checks. So the Democrats wanted, they just wanted like everyone who wanted to like buy a gun to have a background check. And so basically right now, if you buy a gun online, or if you go to a gun show, then you don't have to do a background check.
Right. There's loopholes.
There's loopholes. So the issue with a gun show, though, is that it's very flimsy on like what you can consider a gun show. It could be pretty much like a garage sale.
Oh.
And you could say it's a gun show. So Democrats, they're like, listen, if you're going to get a gun, don't matter what, you need a background check. And if you get a gun without a background check, then it's considered an illegal gun. Of course, the Republicans aren't going to have that. So the Republicans say that they want to limit those who want to buy a gun if you want to buy a gun, you need to have a background check if you have a mental health issue. But the issue with that is that what's considered too mental to be mental health issue, and what's like fine. Do you know what I mean? Like the Democrats are basically saying, well, is ADHD considered a mental issue? Because if you have that, then you can just go on a crazy rampage and start shooting at people.
Right.
So basically, for all 4 of these measures, if it was brought up by the Republicans, and the Democrats didn't get on board, and if it was brought up by the Democrats, the Republicans didn't get on board. So all 4 of them did not get passed. So this is by the Senate. So there's only 100, senators that are allowed to vote on this, and none of them could agree on any of them. And so then recently, the House Democrats basically said, okay, can we just try to get 2 more bills just to get voted on? One that would ban people on the terrorism watch list from buying guns, which I talked about before, and then another one that would tighten the background checks. So basically, they didn't allow that to go through either. But what they did vote on was that we could allocate funds to help fight the outbreak of Zika. Which is like, oh, I didn't realize that also killed 49 people last week. I must have missed that somehow. Somehow this disease that we still don't even really truly know about is more important than assault rifles in schools, assault rifles in clubs, assault rifles in fucking killing kindergarten kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. I think what's scariest about this situation is that in the past 5 years, over 100 gun reform bills have been introduced.
Mm-hmm.
And guess how many have passed?
Over 100. I mean, 0.
Right. 0.
Yeah.
0 have passed. Yeah. There's no other issue that has a percentage rate as this.
You know, I saw an interesting piece of documentation on Twitter of all places, and it basically outlined how much each of the senators had received from the NRA since they've been holding their office, and the numbers were staggering.
Yeah,
because anytime I'm dealing with or learning about an issue that doesn't make sense in politics or in life, the answer I figured out is usually, and by usually I mean 98% of the time, the answer is money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's exactly. like with weed, like, okay, why isn't weed legal? The answer is most likely money. Somebody's not getting the cut that they want. So personally, I feel like it's the same with the guns. They don't want to ban guns because somebody's got some card in the game that's going to lose them money if they put those restrictions in place.
Well, you know what the issue is? It's NRA.
That makes sense.
I mean, so let me break it down for you just a wee bit here.
Go on, break it down then.
The NRA has over 5 million members. Okay. So here's the deal. Do you know the 2 most important things to any politician?
Lobbyists.
Okay. Sorta. What do lobbyists bring?
Money.
They bring money. Mm-hmm. And what's the second thing?
Power.
Votes.
Damn.
Which ends up in power. So, you're right.
I'm right. 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So the NRA has over 5 million members. So basically, if the NRA wants to back any politician, they can guarantee those 2 most important things, money and power. So it's like if you, and it's not just Republicans. I don't want to say it's only Republicans because there are some Democrats that are being backed by the NRA as well. But the issue is not, this could be any organization. This could be the GLAAD organization. It doesn't matter. What matters is that one organization has control of pretty much the whole Senate to where we can't even talk about anything.
Right.
So these 2 bills that the House wanted to bring up, they didn't even let them talk about it. They pretty much voted on the Zika thing and they were like, okay, we're going to be shut down until July 5th, almost 2 weeks from now.
For what? Like, how do they get to just close up? I don't
understand either. How come a couple years ago they just shut down the government for almost a week? Doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean, can they shut down my company? I'm not doing anything good for the world. I'm just selling clothes. You know
what? Maybe George R.R. Martin was trying to teach us something with this Game of Thrones series. Maybe because if you think about think about the not the Sons of the Harpy, the Eye of the Sparrow. Is that the name? The Sparrow people. Oh,
okay. Sons of the Harpy, and then you also have oh my God, the High Sparrows.
The High Sparrows. Like, think of how powerful Cersei was in like the first 5 seasons. Nobody was touching her. Like, if Cersei said something, it was going to get done. But now all of a sudden, here come these the High Sparrows, and her voice, like all she has is Clegane. Like that's her muscle. That's all Cersei has because now the High Sparrow has basically taken over the throne.
Right.
Like what if George Martin is trying to tell us the politicians don't matter? It's the people that are going to make these changes.
I just feel like I think that if George has taught us anything about politics, is that it truly is a game, and that people play any type of tactic to win. In season 1, Cersei said something to Ned Stark that I'll never forget. I'll also never forget it because when we went to Vegas for my bachelor party, it was the one game that I kept playing so much, and I lost so much money from the slot machine. So thank you, Game of Thrones. But Cersei says in the Game of Thrones, either you win or you die. And that is how politics or politicians play this game of politics, is they will use any tactic to get ahead. Because to them, either I have the power or I'm good as dead. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying that there are 3 things that we can do to help, because we're not just going to sit here and say that the NRA has control of everything and there's just nothing we can do about it. There is definitely something we can do. So here's 3 tips. There's a lot of things you can, but I'm just going to narrow it down to 3. So 1, we can all register to vote and then actually go and really vote. First off, there's a stat that if it's a non-presidential election year, that only 30% of people who are registered to vote. Now, there's already a low number of people who are registered to vote, and then the fact that only 30% of them actually do vote, it's not too good. So let's fix that. Let's get out there. Let's vote. Remember, the 2 most important things that we can give to a politician are votes and money. So let's at least give them some votes.
Yes.
One thing that's pretty easy to do is that we can donate. An easy way to do that is have you ever heard of Amazon Smile?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what Amazon Smile is that you buy things on Amazon as you normally would, and then you get to say, of the things that I'm buying, I want you to donate a certain amount to any type of organization. Non-for-profit organization. So what you can do is use Amazon Smile and start to donate to some of these organizations, like the Brady campaign to prevent gun violence is one. And there's also the States United to prevent gun violence. That's another one.
Nice. Good plug.
So those are 2 good ones that you can check out. So that's the second thing you can do. So the first one is to go out there and vote. And the second one is to donate money. Use Amazon Smile, easy. And the third thing you can do is to call your members of Congress. So the second most important thing to do, other than meeting a congressman in person, is to give them a call. They really do listen to your calls. A lot of times you can actually get them on the phone, and you should try. So if you want to find out who your congressman is, you can go to whoismyrepresentative.com. You can go there, you can put in your zip code, you put in your state, and it tells you who is representing you. And you basically just call them and you say, hey, I'm one of your constituents, and I want you to vote for some gun reform bills. I want you to let my voice be heard. I feel for what happened in Orlando. I feel for what happened in Sandy Hook. I feel for what happened in these movie theaters of just people going to see fucking Batman. So here are 3 easy things that we can do to get active and to get out here. And I honestly feel like in history, there are these points in time where things get bad and then they go back to the way they were. And then things get bad and they go back to where they were. But then things get really bad and then something actually happens. And I feel like this is that time for gun reform, where things are getting really bad and this is the time we're going to make something happen. But it can only happen if every person listening does one simple thing. Just go on Amazon Smile. If you do nothing else, go on Amazon Smile and just say, I want to vote for, or I want to donate like 5 cents a purchase to someone who's going to do all the work for you. And I think that could really help out a lot.
I like that. And I know you said that you just want to help out. You just want to do something. You are doing something by this podcast and by giving people the info. You're spitting out that education, and that's what we need. So kudos to you.
heard you got some feedback from the 80-20 rule.
Oh yeah, I've got positive feedback about that. People really like that. Like
Yeah.
it it just goes back to the simple, education thing. Like when you put a theory to something that you go through and experience, you're like, oh man, like that makes sense. So I've gotten a lot of thank yous, and that makes perfect sense, and you were right on about that. Because when I heard it, it put everything into perspective for me. So yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will say I have been thinking about that the whole week. Two things. One, Frankie listened to the last podcast, and he's like, whenever I yell at him for something, he's like, oh, but this is only 28%. And I said, bitch, that's not the point.
He's evolving.
He's evolving. He's learning. It's good to have that perspective, because you don't really blow up as much about like the small things as I did before, at least. So, it puts it in perspective, and I think that's great. So what a great little tip you got there.
Yes. And communication, while we're on this topic, communication is key. Me and Rebecca are going to have a conversation right after this podcast. Because we went to a marriage conference I think it was in April, and it was incredible. Just talking in general. Like it's hard when you get married and you have kids, you get into that routine. And you don't realize, but after the kids go down, like I just want to go play Madden or surf the internet, and she just wants to watch, Netflix and scroll Facebook. And no knock to both of us, is like at that point of the day, we just want to veg out because we've been doing nothing but working.
Right.
But, you don't realize that we're not actually talking to each other about, I'm not talking about surface, like, oh, how was your day? Oh, it was good. Oh, text you. I love you throughout the day. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about talking like, are we okay? Like, are you good? Like, are you happy? How are you feeling? Things like that, like putting down the devices and just talking. So I realized that we need another discussion session tonight. So that's going down. So if you got a loved one and you haven't been giving them the attention, and vice versa, pull them to the side, throw their phone and hide their phone from them. Do what you got to do to get that attention and talk.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, I do feel like that sometimes too. Like, me and Frankie, we don't have kids, but we do work long hours. And then, when you add in the commute, you end up working, 12, 13 hours a day.
Right.
By the time you get home, you're just like, listen, baby, I love you, but I just kind of want to check my little Instagram. I want to see what happened on TMZ today, and I just want to give me daps and let's go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So I completely get that. And sometimes while we're both on our phones, I'll look at him and he's on his phone, and I'm like, I just we should talk about something, but at the same time, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'll see you this weekend, boo.
Yeah, I'll see you on Saturday.
It's only Monday, but I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah. But it's crazy if you think about it. Like, we have another human being living in our household, but sometimes it doesn't feel like that. And I'm sure sometimes it doesn't feel like that to them either.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we're just like the dishwasher. Like, you put the dishes in the dishwasher and run the cycle. It's like, oh, that's just my wake the kids up and cook dinner, or it's like, oh, well, that's just my, take out the garbage and mow the lawn, or it's like you cease to be an individual.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. You just come like a robot and you're just going through the motions.
Break that cycle.
Break the cycle. Here and now. A podcast has no name.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, people. So tell me a little bit about these honor killings. Over 30?
Oh my gosh. Hello, Astoria, Queens.
Oh, you heard that horn?
Oh, yeah, we heard that loud and clear.
Yeah, sorry about that.
A little impatient up there in Queens, New York. Shout out to New York.
I'm actually surprised that you haven't heard more of those because they're all the time.
Yeah, that was the first one I heard.
Wow.
So these honor killings. I just saw an article today, so this is super hot topic.
Super hot topic.
And apparently, what these honor killings are is they're most popular in the Muslim community. But there was a recent story today. There were two bodies found. One of them was a pregnant woman. The other one was her husband, and they were tortured and then murdered by family members.
Mm.
And it was all because the family didn't agree with who the pregnant woman was in a relationship with. And these honor killings, which this is the first time I heard this phrase today, so this research is fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon across the world. Over 30 countries, there have been documented honor killings. Now, to break it down a little further for you, let me first start off by explaining what an honor killing is. It's when you kill a family member because, say, if you're a woman, say I killed my sister because she got raped. In certain situations, that would be called an honor killing. Mm-hmm. Or because I didn't like her husband and I killed her, that would be considered an honor killing. But, and I'm not going to stay on this too much because it's kind of macabre, but I just wanted to bring attention to this because, we live in the US and not everything is gravy over here, but a lot of our problems are champagne problems. That basically means like a lot of the stuff we complain about isn't stuff to really be complaining about.
Well, listen, I just had a burger today and it was not organic, so my problems are valid, just like you know.
You do have a point. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had a taco today, and I specifically asked for extra sour cream. Matter of fact, I paid 49 cents extra.
No, I paid for it.
And they forgot it. So even though I drove all the way back to work, I had to turn around. I'm making a story up, by the way. I didn't really turn around, but I'm just saying I could have turned around and for my sour cream. Like that's the champagne problem. These people over here overseas, this particular story was in Pakistan. They are dying for people they love.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Like, it makes me sad when I hear that if a woman got raped, like, her family could murder her. Yeah. And could they just consider that, oh, this is just an honor killing? Like, no, that's not right. So I'm going to be doing some more research on this because I had no clue about this until today. But that's bullshit.
Have you ever heard of sharia law?
Yes.
Okay, so this is along the same lines as that.
Right.
Essentially, this is good. You know what I mean? It's like, to purify your soul, I'm going to kill you. I am going to stone you because you were raped. Like, you're no longer pure anymore. So let me kill you.
Right. Even though murdering is also, breaking one of the 10 commandments.
Well,
speaking in Christianity terms.
Right, exactly. But these are like different set of rules. I mean,
it's a different set of rules.
I'm sure that it also is a sin for them as well. But when it's in this situation, you are doing a duty to your God to kill them.
They justify it.
Exactly. And it's for women, and it's also heavy for homosexuals. But
right.
In addition to that, the problem recently is that more countries are adopting Sharia law. So it's not like, I know that this is like a hot topic, but it's just not something that's going away, or it's not something that just popped up. In fact, right. It's getting even bigger. So
right.
That's kind of scary. And we have all these terrorist groups out there. These are things that they believe in. Like this is like to the same way Christians here really believe in the things that they believe in. They really believe in Sharia law, and that this is the truth and the light. And listen, it's scary. I mean, the term Sharia law means path. It's the path. So this is like the way that you're supposed to do it. Um, so it's something that's very scary.
It's extremely scary. And so I want to encourage all the listeners, just research Sharia law, research honor killing, just educate yourself on things that are going on outside of the US. Just looking at the different things that are happening to women and in some cases men, acid throwing, breast ironing,
Oh,
burning, genital mutilation, force feeding, stoning. This is like archaic stuff, and but they believe that what they're doing is right. So educate yourselves, learn things that are going on around the world. That's what I'm doing, and it's making me a better person every day.
have you ever heard of intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting, no.
Okay, well, it's this cool, not so new thing, but it is getting some popularity. So, Jimmy Kimmel and also, oh my God, who played Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman both have practiced this when they had to do some serious weight loss or whatever, both personally and professionally. Basically, what intermittent fasting is the basis of it is fasting. The intermittent part is that you can do it at different times of the day, through different times of the week. It's not complete fasting. There are some times to go through it. So basically, like the most popular one to do is a 16 and 8 rule. So basically what you do is 16 hours out of the day, you fast, and then 8 hours of the day you eat. So essentially you're just like shortening your eating window to 8 hours a day. And it sounds like it's like super hard, but it's really not. I've been practicing intermittent fasting for almost 2 years now. It's completely changed my life. Because, I am really into health and fitness, and one of the big things about it is like eating. And there's like a big notion in like the fitness community that you need to be eating every 3 to 4 hours. Well, they debunked that multiple times. The issue is that it's not how often you eat, but it's what you eat and the quantities and things like that, qualities. So essentially what you can do is like the 16 to 8 rule is the most popular one. And basically what you do is between the hours of 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock, you can eat what you want. And then after 8 o'clock, you fast until 12 o'clock the next day. And basically what it is it gives your body a chance to like actually absorb the nutrients that you've just eaten, to actually kind of like detoxify your body, things like that. But I bring this up because CNN just did a report on it. It's been gaining a lot of popularity. So the 16 and 8 is a popular one, but then there's also a 5 and 2, where 5 days out of the week you pretty much eat more frivolously, and then 2 days out of the week you're very strict with your calorie intake and you're on a calorie deficit. But there are different things, and like I'm not a doctor by any means, and I'm not telling you to incorporate fasting. I'm just saying that I've been doing it for a while. It's changed my relationship with food. I don't do the 12 and 8 anymore, but what I do is I no longer eat after 3 p.m. 9 times out of 10.
Got you.
So,
And let me just interject right there and explain something that you helped me with. Was when I told you about I was fasting video games, something not edible, and then you were like, well, why are you giving it up completely? And I didn't really have an answer. And you explained that, sometimes it's not about just stopping doing something. It's about moderation. And ever since I heard that, I've applied that to so many areas of my life. Not to get in too much detail, but, things like masturbation, sometimes that can get a little get a little intense.
A little intense.
Might do it like 6 times a day. It's like,
6 times an hour.
6 times an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to stop this completely. I need this, but maybe I can do it 3 times an hour instead.
Fair.
Yeah. And so it's not always about doing something cold turkey. And I've learned that with things like Madden, it takes up a lot of my time. It took up a lot of my time. But instead of just quitting it cold turkey, I brought it up and I was like, I think I spend too much time playing Madden. I'm not going to play so much. Mm-hmm. And now it's not that I don't play anymore, but it's no longer a priority. So it's like if everybody's asleep or if I'm having a bad day, I might play it. But if everything is gravy, then it's not even on my mind, which is, I think, what that fast is saying is like, you don't have to cancel out all the things, all the guilty pleasures, but you need to do it in moderation.
Exactly. Do it in moderation. It doesn't have to happen all the time. You don't need to depend on it. And I think that you bring up a good point. It's really about being mindful. A lot of times, like, you fix the bad habits in your life when you're just mindful that they are bad habits. And they kind of like sort themselves out. So, but what I will say on that same tip is that a lot of times we try to filter things out and we can't get them to decrease in volume of how much we do them. And so I think that a lot of times when the habit takes over you, that's when you need to like cut it out cold turkey. But if you can maintain it, if you can like minimize your video games to an hour, a day or, what have you, then I think that's very healthy and you should do it. So
yes,
good tips for sure.
Well said.
So I see we have a listener letter.
Yeah. We had a question from one of our listeners, or more of a statement, that they wanted us to talk about same-sex parenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we both have some interesting perspectives to give on this because you are a parent and I'm in a same-sex relationship. So
yeah. So I'll start.
Okay, go for it.
So my first experience was, what was it? I think it was psychology of aging. We had a really young teacher. It was actually the one semester I was at UCF, which was a weird point in my life. But yeah, I was taking a psychology of aging class, and one of the topics was adoption. And I remembered one of the statistics was in the textbook, it was about the ratio between straight parents that adopt and then gay parents. And then also the ratio of, it was something like straight parents that, or the success rate. It was something about the success rate. And it was actually higher. The success rate was higher for the gay parents.
Oh.
Yeah. And also that was at a point where gay adoption was still illegal in Florida. I actually remember that because I was like, this is bullshit. Let me do some research. And of course I didn't know what to do. So I just Googled it. Like, how could this be illegal? And basically, long story short, it's legal now. But at that point when I was learning about it, it was illegal. Although in other states, the gay success adoption rate was higher than the straight. And so it made sense to me only because I had my experience in my life. I knew that doesn't have any effect on parenting, either in speaking to whether you're straight or gay. That doesn't matter. Being a good parent is completely separate. You could be the straightest male and the straightest female and be horrible parents. We see it all the time. You could be the gayest male and the gayest male with the gayest females and be horrible parents. I mean, there's no correlation. A good parent is a good parent. You have to have patience, I think, is the first thing to be a good parent, because babies are going to cry, and crying, I don't know one person on this planet Earth that likes to hear a baby cry. It is disconcerting. It hurts your eardrums. Your natural reaction is to stop the crying. And I feel like that's why we have so many young parents that kill their kids.
Yeah.
is because your instinct is like, okay, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. This alarm, quote unquote, is going off. I need to turn it off. And unfortunately, that's why I think we have a lot of infant deaths, because people don't have that patience. They're not educated to know babies are going to cry. They don't have words. All they know how to do is cry. So it's your job before you have kids, before you think about, I used to think when I found out Rebecca was pregnant, I was like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to lift all the heavy things. I need to make sure she's eating right. And then I need to be there for the delivery. I did not one time think about after the baby was born.
Mm-hmm.
And I still to this day remember that first night in the hospital, and Amelia was like pooping merconium out of her butt, which merconium is when babies are first born, they've never eaten solid food. So all they have in their stomachs is something called merconium. And it's like if you think about syrup mixed with dirt, mixed with tar, that's what merconium is. It's the stickiest,
Oh my God.
blackest. Yeah, it's not poop. It looks like poop, but it's like tar coming out of their butts. And it just wouldn't stop coming out of her butt. And I called the nurse and I was like, I need help changing this diaper and she came in there. She was like, are you serious? Like, you need help changing this diaper? But
You fool.
you dumbass, and you're having a baby. You can't even change the diaper. So that was the first point I realized, like, yo, like
This is real.
This is real. This is a person. And then they sent us home with this baby. So, having a child is not just about being straight. It's not just about making the baby. It's about having all the qualities of a human being to know what it takes to take care of that child. So that's what I got to say about, same-sex parenting. Is it's not about being same-sex. It's about being a good parent.
Yeah. I mean, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But what I will say is that I find that what a lot of people don't like about or have questions about same-sex couples and parenting is, well, don't you care about, the child getting made fun of when he's in school? And what I have to say to that is, bitch, if they're going to make fun of him for that, they're not only going to make fun of him for that, okay?
Right.
They're going to make
Right.
fun of him because his head's misshapen, or
Right.
his ears are weird, or why is one eye bigger than the other?
Right.
And don't let him be not white,
Mm.
okay? Because then you got a whole other thing. So
Yes.
if anything, his parents both being dads or both being moms, like that's just going to be another like box to check off. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's not really going to be an issue for them. Being a good parent, it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is, that transcends all. So
Yeah.
if you're a good parent, you're a good parent. If you're a bad one, it's going to show. And that's all there is to it.
And I'm gonna throw in one more piece.
Okay, go
because
for it.
we live in a pretty diverse street. My next door neighbors immediately to my left is a lesbian couple with a daughter, and then immediately to my right we have an interracial Asian couple. So it makes it pretty awesome for my kids because they've never had questions, but we've talked to them about it and we tell them that it's okay, because I think a lot of it comes from the parenting as well. I think parents, and I don't know where it comes from, but I know it starts from the parents, because if you tell kids anything, they'll believe you. So if you have a child that's coming up to you and saying things like, why do you have two dads? That's not okay. That's nasty. That's wrong. Like that didn't come from them naturally. That came from a parent or an adult.
That's true.
So
That's
a
very
lot of
true.
it is just education. And, we tell our kids like, Millie, it's okay to have two moms. Like, it's okay to have two dads. Like, some kids have that and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know how many times like they've brought that up, our kids?
How many?
Guess how many times?
18.
0.
Oh my goodness.
We told them what it was. It's okay. And they've never questioned it. Now they're going to grow up knowing that it's okay. So educate your children, like raise them right. You don't want to raise these closed-minded people. Think about if y'all know who Strom Thurmond is. You don't want your kids to end up like Strom Thurmond.
I don't know who that is. Can you educate me a little bit?
Segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever.
That bitch.
Yeah.
That dumb idiot slut. I remember that skank.
So you don't know his name, but you remember his words.
And guess what? Just like Ramsey, your name will fade.
Ooh.
So I don't even remember his name now, and I don't care.
Damn.
I want to tell you a little bit about this Kanye West and Taylor Swift thing going
on.
Oh,
yeah. What's going on? You know, I love me some Kanye.
I know you love some Kanye. Now, I'm going to just like rewind this back a little bit. Do you remember, I think it was the VMAs. Best Video of the Year award goes to Taylor Swift.
Which was, Kanye was right in being upset. She should not have gotten Best Video of the Year for that bullshit that she put out. He was correct, but yes, I do remember.
Now, it was a little, he stormed the stage and said, I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had the best music video of all time, which was true.
It was true.
Now, here's the issue. Allegations and speculations came out later on saying that Taylor Swift was in on this. That Taylor Swift actually knew that Kanye was going to do this. She agreed with him that Beyonce probably deserved the award more than she did. And they said, let's stage something. It'll make us both really popular. Okay? So that was speculation, whatever.
Okay.
So now Kanye West has this new song out called Famous.
Right.
In it, he has a line that says, I don't remember exactly what it says, but basically that he made Taylor Swift famous and that he thinks that him and Taylor would still have sex. Right?
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous. God damn. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. So Taylor goes on this rampage saying, I cannot believe he said this. Blah, blah, blah. Now, in the latest interview with Kim Kardashian, Kanye's wife, and GQ, Kim said that Taylor and her people knew about this song lyric the whole time, and again is trying to turn it back around on Kanye. Now, this is not the first time that this allegation has came out, because if you remember one time, Kanye went on another rant backstage at SNL and said that Taylor Swift was a fake ass. And also we have reports of Kanye and Taylor leaving restaurants together, and one time Kanye sent Taylor Swift flowers. So I guess all I'm saying is that I don't believe Taylor Swift. I've never believed her story. I think that she plays a great part, but I feel like I know a little bit about how media and publicity works. And that a lot of time, like Paris Hilton said way back when, bad publicity is good publicity. And these people, they know that. And so all I'm saying is that, Taylor, you are not a very nice person. You're very fake. We can see it when you act so excited when your quote unquote friends win awards at the Grammys. Like, she gives off this fake persona, and I'm sorry, but the only way that she gets by with this is because of what she looks like. And, I just want to kind of bring that up a little bit because, the struggle is real for all of us. It don't matter if you're Kanye West or if you are, anybody,
Yeah.
People
and
backstabbers.
And, there's this one thing that I wanted you to know. I loved you better than your own kin did from the very start. I don't blame you much for wanting to be free. I just wanted you to know. Ooh, with the harmonies.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. So
you thought I didn't know that song.
Let me explain what just happened.
Okay.
you just got, which that is a game I play. I ask people questions,
Uh-huh.
and when they say "huh" or "what,"
Mhm.
I follow up with a song, some song lyrics, and it's like,
Wow.
oh, you just got.
You
I
truly
do,
got me.
yeah, I do that to Rebecca all the time, and she started to catch on, but
Now, does she sing the song before you, or does she just like put her hand in your face?
see, if she sings the song before me, then she got me.
Uh-huh.
But if she puts the hand in my face, then it's just no fun for anybody.
Right.
But the majority of the time, I get her.
Damn.
Yeah, boy.
You're just that good.
I'm just that good. I be getting everybody, and everybody
Wow.
who just listened to the podcast just got.
Every single listener just got.
Boom.
Because they thought you were going to bring up another point.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
But I started singing. Huh.
Wow.
Joke's on you. Joke's on you all.
Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, do you have some homework for us here?
Oh, boy, do I. So touching on, my hot topic from earlier with me and my wife, in the 911 call, she had an issue, but she don't want me to solve it. What I want everybody to do is find out what your significant other's love language is. Now, according to Dr. Gary Chapman, there are 5 different love languages, and most of the time you could fit your significant other's love language into these 5 things. One is words of affirmation, which is, baby, I love you.
Baby, I love you.
Oh my God, you look so beautiful today.
Wow, I love that shirt on you.
Yeah, that's words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. Hey, babe, I have a day off today. Do you think you could take it off and maybe I could take you out to Calabasas for the weekend?
Oh my God, I would love to go to Calabasas. Yeah.
That is quality time. And also it could be, babe, every time I come home, we're on our phones. Can we just put everything down and you just talk to me about your day?
Wow.
That's quality time. Number 3 is receiving gifts. Now, when you hear receiving gifts, it doesn't necessarily mean the person is materialistic.
Oh.
It could also be showing that you listen. Like Rebecca told me one day that, she likes to do things outdoors. And so, I did some research, found out a creek, Cracker Creek, where we can go kayaking, and booked a kayaking trip. That was a gift, but, I didn't really give her a piece of material, but it also showed her that it gave her a gift to show her that I listened to her.
Wow.
So, yeah, so receiving gifts is sometimes people's love language. Maybe the gift could be a nice ring that they've always wanted, or, a new outfit. It could be tons of things. But the gift does not have to be monetary. The 4th one is acts of service. So I'm a very helpful person. And if Rebecca was an acts of service, love language person, like we would be unstoppable, because all I want to do is like, oh, can I get that for you? Oh, the trash needs to get got. Can I get that?
All I want to do
What's that?
is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Oh, and you know what? I fell right into that.
I think you just got.
You got me, bro.
Okay.
Your trending topic got me.
Yeah.
Damn.
And what's step number 5? Or love language number 5?
Now, the love language, and I saved the best for last because this is my love language. The physical touch.
Wow.
Now, this one is the best love language of all because it's the simplest love language of all. You don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to spend time with me. Just when you walking by the chair, just rub your fingers through my head. Just touch my arm. Just let me know that I can still feel. And I know people hear physical touch and they're like, man, I'm not having sex with you. We just had sex last night. No, it doesn't have to be sex. I got feet. You can rub my feet. You can rub my hands. You can rub my head. You can just graze my arm while you're speaking to me. Physical touch is how certain people receive love. So the homework is to ask, and I'm not saying guess. Ask your significant other. Tell them these 5 love languages and say, which one of these will show you that I love you? How do you receive love? And then not only just ask them, but make an effort to show them you love them through their love language.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's some good homework. I think that my love language is probably acts of service.
Huh.
Like, yeah. Just when people do things for me, or like when my husband does something for me, like if I come home and the bathroom's magically cleaned or like the dishes are washed, I honestly feel like he cares about me just because his socks are picked up.
Wow. You hear that, Frankie?
You hear that, Frankie? Or just because he wipes down the cabinets?
Ooh, that was for free, Frankie. I didn't charge you nothing for that. Nothing. You just got that info for free 50.
And I feel like his love language is quality time because like a lot of times he just wants to like go walk around the block and stuff like that. And I never give in. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not weak. I'm not going to just give him that.
You can't just have that quality time for free.
No. There's dishes in the sink. So let's barter. But yeah, that I like that. And I think that, you know what? I'm going to try to start giving him his quality time. And I'm not going to do it to receive, but I'm just going to do it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And likewise, you know, Rebecca's is also, hers is a combination of quality time and receiving gifts. Hers is more so, she likes giving gifts to people. But quality time is probably the biggest one. And I do have a problem with actively listening because when somebody's talking, I'm thinking about my response.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to make an effort to, you know, have a special date with her that, and we're not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to do something nice, something out of the ordinary, and just talk to her and listen to her because I know she likes that quality time. So if you got somebody you care about, if you got somebody that you think about during the day, I think it's worth asking them what their love language is. Maybe you haven't been doing what you need to do. You know, you probably always thinking about that 20%, but shit, they might be thinking about your 20% too.
Not my 20%. That's for damn sure. My 20% good. Well, as far as my homework goes, I don't have any homework. You guys get a free week. Teacher. Yeah. Free week. You know what? Go watch yourself a movie. And just, I don't know, tell somebody you love them. I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's always important. Because you never know.
You just, listen, you never know. If we've learned anything in these past couple of weeks, you just never know.
You never know.
So don't let fate get to you before you do. Matt, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Y'all can reach me out. Y'all can reach out to me at Movie Fiends. That is on Twitter at Movie Fiends, FEENS, or on Instagram at Movie Fiends. I made it real simple for y'all. How can they contact you, Ed?
Oh, you know, I'm on Twitter at Edward L. Jasper. And let me tell you, I've been getting real deep on that Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I've been posting some emotion.
Well.
And you could only find out if you follow me on Twitter. On Instagram, I am Edward Leon Jasper. Been posting those half nudes once again. Yes.
Gotta have the nudes.
Gotta have the nudes. That's how you get the followers. Mm-hmm. And you can follow my blog at edwardleonjasper.com, where I post a new blog post every Monday. It's about health, fitness, or style.
Yeah. Now, news alert for all those milfs and cougars out there. You know, Rebecca told me I can get a sugar mama. So if you got that paper, you know, we're looking for some money. I could put on that Channing Tatum, that cowboy hat, rub my body in some baby oil, do a little dance. Mm-hmm. But that money got to be right.
Well, Frankie said that I can get a papa. I will sit on your couch and do nothing. So come on round. I like Givenchy and I like Gucci.
I like money. Yes, you can't touch me, by the way. You can't touch me, but you can watch.
Oh, I can be touched as long as there's a paycheck at the end.
Oh, damn. You got a nice contract there, bro.
That's a good contract.
It's pretty good.
So just be old, rich, and have a big penis. Thank you guys so much for listening.
We love you.
We love you so much. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Next Thursday.
Bye.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Damn. Shit.
You just ruined the whole outro.
It's...
We gotta record this whole thing again. I don't even think I was recording, actually.
Oh my...
Yeah. Bye.